Procreate Dreams came out a few weeks ago, and I was really excited to actually learn it. And my favorite way of learning a new art app is to force myself to finish something on it. Even better if it's something that I actually need to do. I have a few scenes on my short film that's from the point of view of the robot. I decided to make a little UI, a little point of view graphics for the robot, so it's easier for people to understand that's the point of view of the robot. And I thought Procreate Dreams would be perfect for it, so I gave it a shot, and that's how it turned out. So I open Procreate, I come here, I try to do my little sketch, and I can't find any of the symmetry options. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a problem. But I'm like, okay, I can duplicate the track, flip it, doesn't matter, I can find a way. And then I start trying to do my draw and hold for the circle, and like, oh, that doesn't work here. Let me see the straight line. Oh, that doesn't work here either. So single thing that I tried that wasn't like pretty much straight up drawing, Procreate Dreams doesn't do. And so it's heavily reliant on having Procreate at the same time. It wasn't an issue, to be honest, it was just a little bit frustrating. And so instead of doing everything here, I end up having to go to Procreate. Luckily I have already had it, but so this is kind of like what I came up with. And here I have all my layers and all my symmetry tools and everything that I needed to get, and all the assisted drawing that I needed to get a more graphic looking thing here. I only made one icon because I didn't want to animate it twice. I sent this to, I pretty much just open it here. Let me just go back to my, and you can tell, let me go back here. I tried this a few times, so this was my first attempt. Oh no, yeah, okay. So this was my first attempt. I had like very simple shapes because I was still a little frustrated that I couldn't do the guided things and I didn't want to use another software. So I kind of went back and forward a little bit, and it did this test with a very simple, like very simple animation. And it was good that I did this. It got me familiar to the software and to the limitations of it. So after that I came here and I did a little bit more complex version of it. The UI is a little bit more complex. Not the UI of the Procreate, the UI of my animation, right? Like my robot UI here is a little bit more complex, but there was a few elements that I tried to draw freehand here that I didn't supposed to, and it wasn't complex enough, but I got the gist of it, so I started over again, and this time I spent a decent time in Procreate. So my approach for this version was, I'm gonna finish the look in Procreate, every single layer, everything, and then I started animation, and then it just worked fine. So for this animation, for motion graphics style stuff, as long as you spend enough time in Procreate, it's gonna work out. For frame by frame, there is like, it's gonna be like, because I want to do a character animation here soon, and not having the selection things, like you can get around it, you can just do different layers or different tracks for things that are gonna move separately, but when you just want to like adjust, like move the hand a little bit and it's drawn a layer and you don't want to, I don't know, it's a bit frustrating. I hope they add, it would be awesome that if there was a bridge between Procreate and Dreams, where like you go on drawing mode, and like you do this, and it kind of opens Procreate with the flip book. So we recorded a time lapse of the entire sketching and designing of the UI of the robot, and I know it's not really a user interface because there is no user, the robot is the user, but you got me, right? Like just the point of view of the robot. And Doing it in Procreate is so easy, but in Procreate Dreams, getting this is borderline impossible. So at first, like, I think this was the stage that I left on my first attempt, and then I tried to animate, looked okay. I came back, and I decided to actually finish the design completely in Procreate before I even started the animation for real. And I used very basic tools, just symmetry, lasso tool for selection and gradients with a big airbrush, and all the lines is just like drawing a little bit and holding and to get a straight line. And I let my son choose the colors. You can see like the when you see that little blue thing on the center was him drawing a little bit on the iPad. Okay, so basically all the straight lines that you see on the design were done by uh, drawing a straight line like this, holding a little bit so it becomes like a super straight line, not as freehand as before. And for me to get the right angle, I just tap the screen, put a finger on the screen so it locks to whatever degree, so 90 degrees in this case. For the circles, uh, I did basically the same thing, and then I tap to get a perfect circle. Drawing guides, edit drawing guides, symmetry, radial symmetry, and so for the circle bits, I did a lot of mostly like you could do some sort of spiral like this. Actually, yeah, I did a little bit of a spiral like this, and yeah, that's pretty much how I got the perfect circle. And then I would go back with the eraser. And the reason why I was doing this with the radial symmetry instead of just doing this, I was doing it with the radial symmetry, is because by doing with the radial symmetry, I could have multiple layers and they would all have the same center points. So again, with a little bit easier on the long run, right? So for the interface, I use lots of selection. And instead of rectangle here, I got freehand. Oops. So freehand, and instead of drawing the whole thing, I would just tap to get the straight lines. And then using a big airbrush, yeah, that kind of thing. So lots of those little things. And like I think this combined with some line work. Oh, that wasn't straight at all. I'm kind of off to the side so the camera can get the. And I did like almost pixel sized for those little lines. And then I would kind of lock to an angle of some sort. Yeah, just for fun with a little circle at the end and whatever. So that's pretty much it. And then it imports everything as a single frame. Not a single frame, but you know, like a single, pretty much a single frame. So I tap and hold here and convert layers to tracks, and it keeps the groups and everything, so that's handy. And so tap on the number, background color, I would change to transparent, so When I export, I can have the video on the back. And pretty much every single element, let me just expand this here. And let me get, I don't know, this outer ring here. I animated everything with performance mode. So tap record. With the record option on, I just held the corner here and rotated as the timeline plays. And there's no rhyme or reason, I'm just doing whatever. And for some of the layers I would do this in one pass and then go back and do the same with scale. Like, I'm just doing more extreme now. It's almost like hunting for focus, you know? So pretty much the entire thing was animated with this one feature, just recording the animation instead of doing keyframes for things. And it's not perfect, but for what I need is more than enough. I just need to be done in this movie, you know?